How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode. Hopefully y'all are doing fine. It's your boy, JJ. We have the updated restriction list. I'm a day late or a dollar short. And a dollar short, but we're here. Let's go through the list and we'll talk about it. Okay, cool. That's good. Effective July 2020, July 22nd, 2022. Fighters rule update. For standard, we have restricted to 1 Dark Strain and choice restricted Sylvan Beast Emperor Magnolia Elder. So it's the grade 4 from Magnolia, the new ride unit. And then you have a grade 3 Artillery Dragon, Inlet Pulse Dragon. I think these are okay-ish, I guess. There are moments where Darkstrain can be a bit oppressive, especially if you can facilitate it with extra soul, and getting grade 3s to boost for you consistently can create very negative play experiences, especially when you can just do it for free. Now you have to run the order that boosts your grade 3 in Bastion, and a lot of other decks can also abuse it. This is more a way to hedge against archetypes that can use generic grade 3 support, just good grade 3s in the back row. Because I know like Hexorb used to be able to use this, Overlord can use this a bit, Thiegra can also use this, but they also use the other grade 3 that actually boosts when you're persona ridden. So that's a completely different archetype. I think, who knows, I'm really happy to see that a lot of people are expanding more deeper into Thiegra as an archetype for Keter, so that's really nice. Inlet Pulse is actually making the rounds in the other archetypes that it's actually supposed to be in. So hey, who knows, you know? We'll see. I don't think this means that Magnolia is completely dead or whatever, but there is a downtake of JP players playing this currently. They're playing this archetype right now after their own restriction list, and I'm pretty certain that we will also follow suit. Of course, there will be some Magnolia loyalists. There is going to be Stoichia players. We're probably going to still play a deck that can play Inlet Pulse, so, you know, stay tuned. And then we have a V Premium completely gone, restricted, no longer, no mass, stop, no. Prism Image Rosa. I mean, it was coming sometime soon, right? We kind of saw this coming. It's no surprise to anybody, to be honest. Prism being very pervasive archetype in a V Premium, having 13 to 14 card hands, mega consistent even after the alley restrictions, even after Lieselot restrictions. It just became still very strong as an archetype still. It was just like a good all-around deck. You can make an argument, but hey, what happened to Luard? Luard has not been that good in V-Premium for a while, homie. It's okay, but it has the issue of like, once you use that CB, it's gone. And all other archetypes currently has a little bit of counter charge in them. And especially naming one archetype like Gold Paladin, I'm very nervous to see what's going to happen with Gold Paladin V Premium. I'm going to be making a tier list video hopefully in the future where we'll be discussing this exact same thing. Stay tuned for it. And I'm going to be getting my 2 cents on it, where I feel the meta's going to go. There's going to be for BRO, there's going to be V Premium, Premium, and Overdress. Decks that I can see doing really well at BRO. And what I can see be doing at BCS. Because BRO and BCS are fundamentally different archetypes. You can see BCSs as a YCS, I guess. And at your local YCS, it tends to feel, the tournament scene feels different. And at a BRO, it feels like a Euros, like a European Championship, where it's like somebody has to come with the best tech within the sauce has to be found out. Like, obviously competitive tournaments are starting to tick up again. Single player tournaments are going to be on the rise again, so I'm going to be happy to see how those turn up. Autumn Fest is usually the best fest that I love to play in. Playing against like really strong opponents has always been a very, very high important thing for me. So I'm really excited to see it. And then we also have, then talking about Autumn Fest, we have ourselves the new rules, the updates as well. Fighters rules update for premium. Choice restriction between Pale Moon and also Mega Colony. There is Masquerade Harry and Nightmare Doll Alice respectively. I feel that a lot of, even myself included, because I play a bit of Pale Moon, I'm more of a Silverthorn casual myself, a Silverthorn enjoyer, but I do not see the point of this yet. I mean, I guess this does deny, like, how much more extra attacks? Because you get Purple Trapezes off of this, Leslie, Nightmare Doll, Ginny. This does hurt Harry a bit. Harry on, because oftentimes you play, like, the Harry with Alice sometimes for a little bit of Nightmare Doll engine, because you had, like, so much spots left over in Harry, especially if you're playing, like, a regular good stuff Harry. I guess this hurts that archetype. Nightmare Dolls can just take this out and play Leotina, which is a new stride that we have in this premium collection that we just recently got. I don't... It's a shrug, you know what I mean? It's sort of like, darn, man. Anyway. It's just kind of that vibe, you know what I mean? It's like, God, I got shot in my leg. But anyway. I'm going to keep on playing my deck, and I'm going to keep on hitting you with, like, a bunch of multi-attacks. Like, this doesn't solve much of an issue with Pale Moon. So, I mean, it creates a lot more space in their G-Zone, even. Because they could just run more copies of Yvette and stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, it does make the Link Joker matchup worse. So, kudos, I guess. The Link Joker matchup does become worse. And then for Mega Colony, Fabricated Dragon of Ruination is at 1. I hate cards being at 1 myself. I hate it. I'm allergic to it. I don't like the concept of it because, like, when your opponent draws into it, it feels very sacky, you know? It just feels like, well, damn, I probably would have won that if you didn't see it. You know what I mean? It's like you saw your one of that's completely cracked, and because you saw your one of, it's completely doomed. But I will say, though, as a caveat, it being at 1 means that Persona Ride is no longer going to be an issue. Because one of the biggest issues that a lot of people don't talk about is when you Persona Ride on top of your Ruination with another Ruination, and your front row gets plus 10k crit for the turn. Not 10k in a crit, but plus 10k for the turn. And that's kind of nuts. You know what I mean? You're attacking for like 24, 34 sometimes, especially if you're attacking with the Giraffa Grade 2s and you have a whole bunch of CB open, especially since your opponent kind of has to rush you a little bit because they can't do anything else than just attack you with either their Vanguard swings or anything, really. So it creates a lot of situations like you have a 34k resting rear guard, you're attacking with any of the other rear guards that restands it, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it creates a lot of insane columns. Those can exist still, but this does not mean that Mega Colony itself is dead. I personally would have liked to have seen Ghidorah here on the list. Either make it choice restricted, period, for Ruination, put it to 1 and choice restricted, or put it also to 1, personally speaking. Like, have it just be the 1 turn, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, you would probably have people play Machining, because Machining also has their own version of Ghidorah, more or less. But then you can at least G-Guard, which is fun, right? It still allows you to turbo your GB a little bit, and rewriting is not really a bit of an issue. A lot of archetypes can still kind of get their games going. It doesn't completely deny them. It doesn't completely close them out of the game that as much as Ghidorah does. So I am not... We'll have to wait and see how this list turns out. But as it stands at the moment, I am none too pleased with this current list. That's my takeaway. That's my feedback so far. I feel that there is a bit more testing needed to be done. It feels like when you're so close to an answer, like when you're doing a sum, right, an equation in your head, and you're like, okay, so I kind of got the answer out, and you kind of do like, okay, So 1 out of 100, it's like 5%, 1%, and then I'm doing it as hyperbole. Like 1%, and then you're like, okay, calculating, then the 40% out of that, and like you're kind of getting there, right? You're kind of getting there, but then the answer is wrong. You're like, what happened? The start and middle is pretty okay, but what happened in between? And Echo, another content creator friend of mine, had mentioned like it's basically he agreed with like 80% of the list, but then 20% just makes it almost completely wrong. Or if I take that out of context, if I don't know if I said it incorrectly, he'll correct me, obviously. But I took it as such. I take that now. Yoink. It is mine now. I will take your assumption. I don't know. A lot of other extra archetypes, I'm sorry to say, I'm very scared of. A lot of extra archetypes I'm very scared of now, going into the new meta. Some archetypes I'm thinking people are going to be sleeping on, going into the new meta. And we're going to talk about it, hopefully in another video. Not this one. This one is just more or less a bandless overview, my feedback, my takeaway. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So be awesome, stay awesome, and take care. Till next time. Peace. Yeah.